Esiva, this is LaserBolt, and welcome to another Destiny 101. Today we're going to be talking about over the materials, and we're going to be giving you guys the ultimate guide. By the time you guys get done with this video, you're going to understand how to get every single material in the game, how to get it easy, how to get it fast, and what to avoid to do in order for you not to overexpend material. So if all this sounds like something you're definitely interested, a like would be greatly appreciated, and let's go and talk about the ultimate guide for materials in Destiny. All right, guys, so today we're going to be taking a look at how to get enhancement cores, how to get into enhancement prisms, how to get ascendant shards, how to get legendary shards, and of course, how to get Glimmer. And this becomes very apparent when you guys ever play the game. So if you're a returning player, if you're a new player, one of the most kind of confusing parts about Destiny is understanding its currency system and how it works. Because every time you go to a vendor, you're going to see stuff like this and say, you need a certain amount of legendary, you need a certain amount of Glimmer, and it tells you, okay, you want to do other stuff, it's going to tell you guys are going to need more of like items. So for example, you want to get these, you're going to need enhancement cores, legendary shards, and materials from planets and Glimmer. And it becomes a little bit overwhelming because first and foremost, you probably don't even know where to get this material. If you're new to Destiny, there's certain material here that you probably haven't seen before. And you're probably wondering, where do I get all this stuff and why is this even needed? Well, today we're going to try to get all that information for you guys as quickly as we possibly can. All right, so let's get first started with the first one, which are going to be the enhancement cores. Now, these are going to be very important for you guys, and knowing how to actually obtain these are going to be crucial. So let's get started with the first option that I'm going to give you guys on how to actually obtain these. And this is by far going to work in the majority of vendors. It's going to work for Banshee. It's also going to work for Spider. Now, what you want to do, guys, is you want to go over the bounties. Now, if you guys notice on the bounties, it says that every time you complete this bounty, you're going to be able to get an enhancement core. Every time you complete this bounty, you're going to get an enhancement core. Every time you complete that bounty, it's an enhancement core. And every time you complete that bounty, it's an enhancement core. Remember, these reset every day. So you're able to pick up a total of 4 different bounties every day and get yourself some enhancement cores, which is a very easy and effective way to actually get them. It only costs 250 Glimmer, so it's actually a very cheap turn value for those enhancement cores. Another really good way to get enhancement cores, it doesn't work all the time. There's a little bit of RNG. I think it's after every 3 or after every 4. Sometimes you get multiple. It could become apparent that when you delete or dismantle a legendary, you get a chance of getting an enhancement core as well. It doesn't work all the time, but deleting legendaries is another way that you could possibly get some enhancement cores. Let's say we get lucky here and get one to go ahead and dismantle for us. So let's get this one, see if that one gives us an enhancement core. No, it did not. Let's try this one right here. Let's try this one right here. See, this one gives us an enhancement core. And there you guys have it. As you see there, it gave us 1 enhancement core. So as you see, almost every 3, every 4 times will get an enhancement core when you dismantle a legendary weapon. Another way that you're also able to get enhancement cores is if you visit any of the endgame content vendors. For example, if you visit Lord Shaxx, who's in charge of the Crucible. As you guys notice right here, when you guys rank your rank on the Crucible, it's going to give you the option to get enhancement cores. As you see right there, since I already ranked mine up, my Crucible went up, I'm now able to actually obtain this, and he gives me a total of 3, which is pretty cool. And we'll come back and talk about enhancement prisms in a little bit, and we'll come and pick him up because there's just another effective way to do that. Now, you're able to do that with all the vendors, so if you level up the Crucible, if you level up Gambit, and if you level up the Vanguard, which is going to be here, which is going to be Zavala, you're going to notice that he's going to give you an option to get some as well every time you reach, you hit that rank 4 for your character. So do keep that in mind, guys. Leveling up your different characters and vendors from within the game will give you a chance to get some enhancement cores. So it's really fun and effective since you're already doing endgame content. So you might as well pick up the rewards when you level up. Another way you're able to get enhancement cores is by doing lost sectors. Now, both lost sectors will allow you to get enhancement cores. For example, if you do the regular lost sector, this is going to give you some enhancement cores. Or if you do the master lost sector, it's also going to give you enhancement cores as well. So this is another effective way, since you're already theoretically going to be farming for exotics, you might as well get those enhancement cores out of the way. Another way to get enhancement cores, of course, is by doing the Nightfall. So if you guys are looking at the Nightfall, if you go and change the level difficulty, you're going to notice that if you do the Adept version, you get some enhancement cores. If you do the Hero version, you get enhancement cores. Legendary, you don't get enhancement cores. But if you do the Master work, you also get some other material. So we'll come back and talk a little bit more about these in later. But if you guys do the Hero one and the Adept, enhancement cores will be available for you guys to pick up and be able to get more enhancement cores. In addition to that, guys, if you also do the Vaulted Blast raid, which is right here, you're going to notice that you're going to be able to get enhancement cores as well even though it does not state there, but you do get a chance to get enhancement cores. So do keep that in mind. Another great way that you might bypass that you probably haven't noticed is definitely getting enhancement cores by completing your battle pass. So you might have to be completing your battle pass, but you're not coming in and collecting the actual rewards. If you come in here, you're going to notice that you're going to get at level 4, you get 5 enhancement cores, which are amazing. And if you go here to level 15, you get 5, and then another set of 5. So you're going to be able to get enhancement cores. Just make sure you come into the battle pass and you actually collect them as you go to make sure you guys are getting those enhancement cores as you guys are progressing. Another way to get an enhancement course as well is this going to be kind of like a tip and trick is you go over your collections and you go over to your armor and then you go over to where it says leveling. You're going to go to the second tab where you have the blue items. So as you guys see here, blue items, we're going to pick up a helmet. And once we pick up this helmet, it's going to require some glimmer and some gunsmith material. All right, so once we get that there, you're going to notice that that's going to appear within our inventory. Now, once we go and check out our character, you're going to notice that the helmet is right there. Now, if we want to go ahead and upgrade this, we're going to have to upgrade this to level 8 in order for us to be able to get this at higher level. So let's go ahead. It's going to cost us 1 enhancement core, 3 legendary shards, and some glimmer. So let's go ahead and level this up to level 8. As you guys see right here, we're leveling up to level 8. So we wasted a total of 3 enhancement cores and 1 enhancement prism, right? As you guys notice right there. Boom, level 8. Once we get that to level 8, all we got to do is dismantle it. And once we dismantle it, it's going to give us a total of 6 enhancement cores. So instead of the 3 we spent, we get 3 additional enhancement cores, which is a nice little tip to actually get if you're trying to farm some enhancement cores. You do lose on that prism, but we'll talk about how to get prisms and how to farm them a little bit later in the video as well. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Now, another tip I want to give you guys, of course, is using your ghosts to get some enhancement cores. And this is something that's not really talked about and a lot of you need to know. And that is, guys, being able to play any of the playlists you like and getting some enhancement cores off of them. For example, we go to here, this one, guys, you're going to notice that if I play a lot of Crucible, Precision Final Blows in Crucible have a chance to award me some enhancement cores. And of course, if you don't like Crucible, you can go do the Vanguard one, and that's going to give you a chance to get some enhancement cores from just completing those, because those are going to give you some enhancement cores as well. Another thing you can do, guys, is doing the Altar of Sorrows public event, and that one tends to drop Masterwork weapons. If you don't know what Masterwork weapons look like, they'll have this yellow icon around it, and that one usually drops it. Every time you dismantle a Masterwork weapon, it gives you 7 enhancement cores, so that's another great alternative. It doesn't always drop a Masterwork weapon, but it's a very good incentive to actually get to some very frequently. And there you guys have it. That is the complete guide on how to get enhancement cores. Now that we know enhancement cores, now let's talk about the other ones, which are a little bit more interesting, which are the enhancement prisms. All right, so enhancement prism, guys, these are a little more challenging to obtain, but still there are a very good, effective methods to actually being able to get some. So let's go back to our inventory and let's take a look at our ghosts, guys, because our ghosts will also provide us an ability to be able to farm these if you guys are really low on them. So basically, guys, very similar to what we were doing with the enhancement cores, you're going to notice that we are able to get enhancement prisms by doing Crucible events or Vanguard events. The only difference is that this is going to cost a 6 total within our ghost, but it is a very good, effective way if you're going to be playing a lot of Crucible, or if you're going to be playing a lot of activities like, Vanguard strikes and stuff like that, that you can definitely equip this one, and it's going to give you some enhancement prisms, which are going to be making it very effective as you progress and level up your armor. Another way to actually get some prisms as well is by visiting the gunsmith. Now, the gunsmith's going to have some for sale. They are a little bit expensive because they are going to cost you some enhancement cores, some planetary material, and 10,000 glimmer, but this is another way to actually obtain them if you're trying to figure it out. Now, remember, these reset frequently, so it's not always going to be dust light shards, and it's not always going to be spin metal leaves. So these rotate depending if you have a lot of material, if you have a lot of glimmer, which you should. After you complete watching this video, you guys are going to know how to have a lot. These are a very good, effective way to actually purchase some if you're missing some right now. The other vendor that also has some prisms as well, of course, is going to be Spider. Now, Spider, he's going to be selling these for a little bit more because these are going to be allowing you to purchase these, but these are going to be costing you some legendary shards, which we'll talk a little bit further on how you're actually able to get legendary shards. But you're going to be able to get some, some prisms by acquiring them for 400 legendary shards. I did want to point it out, it is expensive, but it's still a very good, effective way to actually get them. And as you see right here, he also has some enhancement cores, which we talked a little bit later. These are a little bit cheaper, but like I did mention in my other video, you're able to pick them up from him as well. Just like the enhancement cores, guys, as well, for the prisms, every time you level up your Crucible, you're going to be able to get some, as you see right here. We're going to be able to get these right here. We just pick these up, and every time we hit rank 13, it's going to give us some enhancement prisms. Now, this is also going to work for the Vanguard and, of course, Gambit. So if you guys are playing the game like you're intended to play it and do every single activity, you will be able to get them as you level up each individual character within the game, as you see right here. You also get these at rank 10. Now we go to the destinations, guys. Vaults of Glass and also the Nightfalls are a very good resource for these prisms as well. But you're going to have to do higher land content. As you guys see right here, we get prisms. Once we go from Hero all the way down, we get some enhancement prisms. Hero's actually pretty good because you get the enhancement course and the enhancement prisms. But Legendary kind of primarily focuses on the enhancement prisms. And of course, the Master one also focuses on the enhancement prisms as well. So this is a very good way and a good source to actually get some enhancement prisms. And like I said, the Vault of Glass will also, guys, give you the option to get that as well. Even though it's not stated here, but the Legendary one will give you some enhancement prisms, and of course, the Master one will give you that as well. So do keep that in mind. If you're trying to farm some, make sure you guys do this as quickly as you possibly can, if you can, and get that done. Now, another trusted resource for enhancement prisms as well is the trusted old Battle Pass. Now, the Battle Pass will award you some as you guys progress, so make sure you guys are keeping a close eye and claiming your rewards as you progress, because you will be getting some enhancement prisms as you guys are moving on here. So make sure you guys are keeping in line. As you see here, once we hit level 70, you get 3. You're also going to get one, I think, before level 70, which is level 60. So you will be getting those prisms as you progress and level up. But just make sure you come in and collect these, because if you don't come and collect them, you guys are going to theoretically be losing out of those prisms. So keep that in mind. And of course, guys, the last resource would be for trials. Trials, if you go visit Saint 14, he'll give you the option to buy some prisms as well. It costs a little bit of money, but that's a very good, effective way to actually get some prisms if you guys are trying to play a lot of trials. So make sure you guys check that as well. And that is how you get enhancement prisms. All right, so now we already covered enhancement cores. We already called enhancement prisms. Now let's talk about these guys, the ascendant shards, which are a little bit more difficult to get. And these are going to mostly drop from high-end content. So let's talk about how you'll be able to get these bad boys. All right, so ascendant shards, guys, are very hard to get. And these require high-level content. And one of the easiest ways to go about it, guys, is, of course, getting your season battle pass. I believe once you hit level 80, you start earning some. So around 80, I think, is the first time you get some, so you'll be able to get one. And then as you progress through 85, you get another set. And you actually are able to get 2, 3 at 94. So you get a total of 3 per battle pass. So if you do have the battle pass, there's one way to actually get them. The other way you're actually able to get them and kind of just farm them in general would be by going to the destinations, going to the Nightfall. And once you're in the Nightfall, once this thing loads here, if we go and we change this from Adept and we change this to Master, you're going to notice that it's going to give us, once we go to Master, it's going to give us some Ascendant Shards. These are farmable, so you're able to do this over and over, and you'll be getting some Ascendant Shards as well. In addition to that, guys, you also have the Grandmaster one, which this is going to, it doesn't say right here, but this is going to award you some Ascendant Shards as well. So do keep that in mind, guys. If you're trying to get some Ascendant Shards, Nightfalls are really getting expensive. It just means that you have to do high-level content in order to be able to actually obtain those, right? So Ascendant Shards are very hard to come by, and very hard to come by, what I mean is by doing hard-end content. In addition to that, if you guys go and do the Vault of Glass, and you switch it from Legend to Master, it's also going to give you some Ascendant Shards, so do keep that in mind. Even though it doesn't state right here, it does theoretically still give you some, so do keep that in mind if you guys are trying to farm that and get that completed. Now, another way, it's a little bit more expensive, but you're still able to do it if you don't want to do high-end content and you just want to kind of like cheese it just a tad bit. It's still going to require a lot of work because you're going to have to get the, the gear and stuff and the, pretty much the materials. Is if you guys just straight out buy them from enhancement prisms. Now that you know how to get them, if you got a lot of 10 enhancement prisms and you got a lot of materials, you're just able to get this for a Glimmer. Glimmer is really expensive though, 50k, guys, for each one. Even though after you get done with this video, you guys will know how to get a ton of Glimmer. Still a really good incentive. If you guys just need some, there's a very good way to, if you don't want to do high-end content, you can just theoretically just buy it from the gunsmith. All right, so now that you know how to get that material, let's talk about the other two materials, which are kind of like the bread and butter of the game, which are legendary shards, which you theoretically almost always need, and Glimmer. Let's start off with legendary shards. So in order for you guys to get a legendary shard, you're only able to get these if you dismantle legendary weapons. So anything that's purple, you dismantle it, boom, you get legendary shards. And as you see, guys, we get a +4 there, and I'm going to tell you guys exactly how we get that +4. Some of you guys might be getting a +2. You're probably like, how did you get 4? So basically, quick, easy. Anytime you dismantle a purple, you will get some legendary shards. All right, so now let me give you guys a trick on how you're actually able to increase that amount of legendary shards you get from 3 to 4. And that is, guys, very easy here in the battle pass. Now, this is another way to actually get some shards as well, because as you guys notice right here, we will be picking up some legendary shards as we progress. But one neat feature about this is that once you guys get to level 20 on the battle pass, you're going to unlock this activity called Legendary Shard Dismantling Bonus. Provides a bonus of legendary shards when dismantling the legendary or exotic gear. That means that instead of just getting 3 legendary shards every single time you dismantle it, you're going to be getting 4. So this is a very good extensive way to actually do it and get more legendaries. Plus, you'll be able to get a lot from here. As you guys see, it goes from 25. I think the highest that this one goes to, does it keep it at 25 if I remember correctly, or does it go up at all? I think 25 is the maximum that you're able to get. So 25 legendary shards as you guys progress through the battle pass. So that's a very good and extensive way to actually do it. Now, another way to actually get some more legendary shards, guys, is once again visiting your ghost. The ghost is going to be extremely friendly because you're going to be able to select here that you want to get more legendary shards to drop from you guys as opposed to getting any sort of other armor. So basically what we do, guys, is we go to the Vanguard right here and we look for the one that's going to give us legendary shards. As we already talked about the enhancement cores. We already talked about the other stuff, but this also gives you advantage of getting legendary armor to drop for you guys. So you can tell it, you know what? I want to play a lot of Gambit, the Prosperity Gambit. I want to play a lot, and I want to make sure I have more legendary gear drop for me and have that piece of gear drop. So you could, if you don't want to do Gambit, you could do Vanguard Strikes, or you could do Crucible. So that means that every time you guys complete a match, you will be getting legendary gear. Hence, dismantling that legendary gear will give you legendary shards. So activating these mods are going to be very helpful for you to actually obtain more legendary armor. Since we're already here at the gunsmith, let me give you guys another helpful tip. I'm pretty sure if you're a returning player, you might have a lot of these gunsmith rewards. Basically, guys, you could actually trade these in to increase a reputation gain. So as you guys see right here, my reputation gain is going up. And as I trade these in here, it's going to go up. Now, what that does is going to give me a chance to get some gunsmith engram. So I'll pick up the gunsmith engram, check definitely before I dismantle it, make sure it's not a god roll, and then just dismantle it, and boom, bada bing, I get 4 legendary shards and some enhancement cores. Really good, effective way if you guys already have a lot of these materials and you just want to level him up and get those as well. Another neat way as well, talking about the gunsmith, we're going to go visit the vendors as well, because you could do this on here as well. Every time you guys level this up, you're going to notice that they're going to have a bunch of these little crucible engrams. Just acquire those, dismantle them as you go. Now, in addition to that, that's a very effective way. Of course, like always, guys, double check that it's not a god roll when you actually get these. So all you do is dismantle it, bing, bada, bing. Now you get yourself some more legendary shards. And all the vendors are able to do that. You can do that with the Crucible. You can do that with the Gunsmith. You can do that with the Gambit vendor. And of course, you can do that with Zavala as well. Just pick up the item you have, pick it up. And then you're going to go to the chest, make sure it's not a god roll. It didn't appear, but if it were a god roll, you just dismantle it. Like, let's dismantle that one. Let's say that was it. And you get your 4 legendary shards. So super easy, nice, effective way to actually get those, get that legendary shards really fast. All right, so now that you guys know how to get some more legendary shards, let's talk about how to get Glimmer, because Glimmer, it goes by so fast, especially now with the new trials, all the stuff you got to buy, upgrading stuff. It is crazy, crazy how fast you consume it. So how do you get more Glimmer? All right, so one of the most effective way to actually get Glimmer, guys, of course, is by visiting Spider. He is like the master when it comes to Glimmer, because if you're a returning player, he's actually going to be very effective for you, because if you have old material, as you see right here, I have this material that got sunset. I can just go ahead and spend that material there, and it's going to give me that Glimmer. In addition to that, he does sell material for actual planetary items. So you definitely go ahead and turn this in and get a lot of Glimmer that way as well, which becomes really effective, right? So that is one way to actually go about it, but that is not always the best way. There are multiple ways that you want to do. One of the things that I would highly recommend you guys do is this right here, guys. Go to your ghost, and on your ghost, you want to make sure you get this right here, guys. The level number 6. This is the ultimate Glimmer booster. This is going to increase your Glimmer consumption by a whopping 65%. That's the best one I would recommend. Theoretically, you get one smaller. Like, so let's say you're not using this one anymore, that this one pretty much is going to guarantee a minimum of recovery. If you don't want to do that, you can just go ahead and switch that to one of these, and that's going to give you the advantage of getting a ton of Glimmer, guys, allowing you to be able to maximize the amount of Glimmer you get when doing any sort of mission, any sort of strike, any sort of PvP content. this is going to give you a ton of Glimmer. Another effective way to actually get Glimmer as well, guys, of course, is by completing the season battle pass. The battle pass is amazing, guys. If you don't pick up the battle pass, I highly recommend you guys pick it up every season, especially if you plan on playing a lot. It's going to give you a ton of Glimmer. You see 8,000 right here, 8,000 as you progress, and then it goes up to 10,000. You keep getting 6,000, so you're getting a lot of Glimmer. But one of the coolest aspects is this: at level 3, you get this awesome Ritual Glimmer boost, which is going to provide a Glimmer bonus when completing Crucible Message, Strikes, Gambit matches as well. So that boost is going to be exponential, because that paired with the 65 boost is just going to be amazing on the amount of Glimmer you actually are able to obtain. Now, it's going to be extremely important that you pay close attention to how much Glimmer you have, because remember, the Glimmer does get capped out in the amount you have. There's only a maximum amount that you can carry. I think it's 250,000. So you want to make sure you're keeping track, because if you are capped, I'm going to give you a way to actually earn more Glimmer, even though you're capped, to avoid getting capped or getting stuck with too much Glimmer that you're not even earning any as you guys are going. So do keep that in mind. Now, there's something that I do want you guys to keep a close eye on, and making double sure that you guys do have something of this in your inventory, and that is here called the Rainmaker. Pretty much the Rainmaker is a consumable that's going to give you Glimmer when you guys, for a total of 4 hours. So precision kills have a chance to creating a Glimmer shower. So every time you get those precision kills, you're going to be getting a lot of Glimmer as you go. If you pair that up with the Ghost, 65% plus the bonus you got from the Battle Pass, you're going to be getting a lot of Glimmer, and this is going to last you for 4 hours. So if you plan on playing for 4 hours, doesn't hurt to pop up a Rainmaker. Now, another way you're also able to get it, and this is going to be if you have a lot of Bright Dust, you could go to the store, and you're going to be able to purchase this one, which is called the Glimmered Shard. This is going to allow you that every time you defeat bosses, you have a chance of creating a Glimmered Shower, and this is going to last you 4 hours as well, but it's going to cost you 250 Bright Dust. I know a lot of people like to save their Bright Dust, to make sure that they buy all the cool stuff. So there's another way I did want to mention it. All right, so now you guys are wondering, Laser, okay, so that's cool, but I'm already capped out of Glimmer. How do I go about getting more Glimmer? You're going to go into the equipment, and under equipment, you can either pick up a Ghost or you can pick up a ship. Usually there are some ones that are really good. So for example, for the Ghost, you go and check one of these exotic Ghosts, like this Cosmos Shell Ghost. You could buy it for a certain amount of Glimmer on legendary shards, and you could store those in your inventory or in your vault. And anytime you guys go ahead and dismantle those are going to give you 5,000 Glimmer. So you could store those, since you already capped at Glimmer. You could just buy some exotics, put them in your inventory, put them in your vault, keep them there, and every time you dismantle those, they're going to give you 5,000 Glimmer every single time you dismantle it. That's a really good effective to actually store Glimmer if you guys are already capped out, because there's no point if you guys keep playing if you're already at 250k and not getting any Glimmer and not storing it away. And you are gonna lose like about 2,000 Glimmer though. But you still, what's the point of you losing the 2,000 Glimmer if you're not getting any back? But overall, in general, guys, that is the ultimate guide for materials. If there's a tip that I missed that you guys might have that actually works for you guys, and I didn't mention, drop it in the comment section down below. I do hope you guys are enjoying our Destiny 101 coverage of everything you need to know about Destiny, bringing you up to speed if you're new, bringing you up to date if you're not new, and if you're a returning player, making sure you guys get ready for the Witch Queen. I hope you guys are enjoying our content. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.